certified to substitute in.
So he's on side.
Yes.
These interventionists that I asked you about before,
Yes.
they know what it was.
Uh-huh.
Now you're abolishing the postings?
Yes, because we have to post them through RESA. RESA is posting, and you'll see them again on a posting, but it's a RESA. They have to apply through RESA.
If I do Risa and then crazy.
Who pays them?
I'm sure we will.
We will.
I suspected.
I suspected, yes. They'll employ them, we pay them.
There's a advantage going through the RESA sometimes, and we can't abuse it, but sometimes they're used, they don't have the same criteria that we have to use. But we cannot expand on it, you know, kind of everybody agrees for this little bit, but you can't abuse it or they'll step in, the state will.
It's going to be up to so many hours. When you see the posting again, it'll be up to so many hours per week, and a certain dollar amount per hour. And then that's it. Any other questions?
Discussions. Have you all had an opportunity to read the request for reinstatement of 261 days?
Yes.
Would you like to discuss that? I've had an opportunity to read that, and I don't know, it's my understanding that in order, I mean, we could talk about it and see if it would be a great thing, but we would have to have his blessing. Mr. Roach would have to say, am I right? Am I correct in this?
Well, and again, I don't know if it's, it almost, I think, have to have the state's blessing, maybe. It's kind of an unusual situation here. One part of it's finance, the other part's related to personnel. So I don't want to say absolutely positive, like I know something. It would be, even if you agreed to it, I'm sure it would be under scrutiny of the state also. I wouldn't want to say that it would be accepted no matter what you did, whether you did it or you didn't do it.
I would like for us to try to reinstate at least some of those things. We couldn't do them all, some, because they've been working like this for a long time.
Well, I'm not, let me get my, I guess, cards on the table,
Okay.
so you all will not be guessing what I think. There is no question, in my opinion, that they deserve more days. Everyone does. I mean, I just think that's a given for what everyone has to do. My only problem with it, I'll state it again, I don't know where we're going to be in a year or two. One of the things that, and just to give you an example, I've asked the board, I think, 2 years or 3, Ms. Gandy, on the extra days for the custodians at the schools to make it more equal to the middle and high school. And I've been asked, why do I do that? Why don't I just change your contract? Because when you change a contract and the state comes down and says you have to cut so much money, you're done for that year. This way, if I need to cut, I can go there and cut that out, even though our schools would be, grass would start growing up and other things, but I could do it. So I'm just, and I've shared this with anyone who asks me how I feel, and it's because I feel we're in unusual times. I don't know where we're going to be, and I could not recommend it, not saying that they not deserve it, but there's a difference when it comes to finance. That's $171,000 if we did the bigger package, but that's year in and year out. So whatever you're doing, you're giving it the whole year, The only way you can change that is put them on transfer and then take back days. And when you do that, and I'm sure I wasn't around when that was done, but I'm sure it was unpleasant. When you were here,
I was here.
when we did that, and I'm not so sure in the uncertainty that we're in. And again, I think you all see what's going on out there. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that we're in difficult times potentially. So that's the reason why I do not recommend it. But again, it's not saying they're not deserving, they don't work hard, because they do.
Excuse me.
Well, can we do it on a year by year? I mean, evidently we had the money this year, or Bertie wasn't.
Well, that's,
Yeah, because this work year we did, it's kind of like Mr.
Right,
Rhodes said, that he's
Yeah.
right, and how much you
way to
do
the
it
future.
is, I think what you need to do, if I may ask, is before you vote on it, is to let Bertie give a sheet of incrementally how many days and what the cost is. And when you say what you're saying, does that mean everyone,
Right, I understand.
or, you know, that signed that petition, or are you saying these get this or those
Yeah.
get that? And so I would think the board would be better advised to look at what the cost is per 1 day, per 5 days, and then you make a decision based on that. But again, I want to make sure that I'm going to have to check with, I guess, legal counsel at the state level, not our attorney, but their attorney. Where does this fall in whose jurisdiction at this point?
Well, I mean, I'll be right truthful, I don't feel real comfortable in just saying, yeah, we're gonna get it some way, finances are gonna be, but I would like to help them out, you know, if we can do it on a yearly basis, and that way, if we need to cut, they wouldn't.
It would be for that year.
Yes, that's right.
I'm a little concerned, we're 33 people in staff already.
Yeah.
If we have to, if we give days on this end, and then in the spring, we cut whole positions, and we'll be cutting back.
You will be
I
cutting,
guess.
you will be cutting if we're not funded for the counselors, you know, with the grant that I shared with you all before, that we're doing, we will have to cut because we'll be 38 or 39 over just the counselors. So there will be cuts unless that grant. That's also saying, and again, I don't know, Bertie would know better, is how the state is doing. I noticed they said something today, or something about our impact, or something in the paper that I was reading.
I haven't heard
It wasn't major, it was just that it seems like our recovery is not as, and I didn't know people were recovering, but ours is a little slower in recovery.
We're back down to 43rd, the state, we were 10 as far as financial situations, and some years on here dispatched. We're back down to 43rd, West Virginia. Our recovery is not going to be what other states are supposed to.
But if I may suggest that we look at that incrementally, what a chart that Bertie can, and also in between,
1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days.
whatever,
I can give
however how you could
all
do
the
it
way
to break
across.
it down, it would be helpful. I'm sure that,
We don't just do it just at a daily rate. I mean, if you do a daily rate,
We sure can.
we could, I mean, we could multiply, we could do math.
but I think it would need to be done. If you could do the math on that, hey, I just prefer it be there in front of us, so we all know what we're doing. And secondly, I could, before the next meeting, have that plus what the state says.
Yes.
That, both of those would be helpful, I'm sure.
Sean?
Does this have an impact on annual leave entitlement? I'm only going on a rumor I heard out there that if this was granted as requested, it would.
If the 261 would be granted, yes, they would have vacation days included.